I know that they allow things to go on so they can get their intel up. Everybody that I know that went to the feds, not the people that caught 3-4 cases and then they just batted you up and the feds picked you up. I'm talking about the people that I know that the federal government investigated and wanted to bring them to justice for quote unquote crimes. They always come when the motherload is there. As if, well, why Future don't just hand $1 million? Some ain't taking no $1 million from their partner and they done seen him sweat like this here for it. Blood, sweat, and tears travel every day. It just be y'all just looking for daddies that be ready to get up under and spend all the money he don't work for. Some just saying, hey homie, that's your money. I'ma get mine off the concrete. You my partner, I'm supporting you, I'm around you, we ballin', we living, but I don't want no money. Can't hand me no $1 million just on some, he goes some money. Hey, yo, welcome back to It's Up There podcast. I am Big Loon. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, share, let somebody know I was there. I bear witness to the game. Come to patreon.com. It's Up There podcast. That's where the vibes are. Got a lot to talk about today. Of course, with us doing the weekly show now, I want to come in and touch base with y'all about a few things. While we were about to put the episode out, we just got breaking news that casino, Freebandz Casino, has been arrested by the federal government. If you do not know who Freebandz Casino is, that is Future's brother. He is heavily involved in the Freebandz gang record label, and he's an ATL legend. You know what I'm saying? He's someone that got a lot of respect. And see, if you really come from where we come from, you can tell who still kind of mix and blend. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of tell who really still planted and who done really moved away from it. And we'll get into that in just a second. Number one, we want to start this with Free Casino. That's my homeboy. Somebody we talk on Instagram all the time. He DM me all the time. And so we have somewhat of a cordial back and forth relationship. He knows what it is I do, I bring to the game. And I know his position in the whole ecosystem as it pertains to Future and Atlanta and his contributions to the entire movement with Freebandz. And so before we get into who he is and what he has brought to the table, I do want to spend a little bit of time speaking about what they found, some of what is being spoke about by some of the media counterparts, and I just want to bring some commentary to it. The federal government alleges that they found 21 bricks, 21 kilograms of fentanyl and 380,000 from Future's brother, Freebandz Casino. Let's take a look at this video. We'll come back with some commentary.
As Special Agent in Charge Brown alluded to, we're here to talk about, for the Northern District of Georgia, the material that's in front of me here today. This all comes from an operation that occurred last Friday in Forest Park, Georgia, where FBI and DEA agents assigned to the HSTF arrested two men, Rico DeVille Bice, aka Casino, and David Estevan Montillo Diaz. Defendant Bice was caught fleeing from an Airbnb rental where agents were executing a federal search warrant. Bice was carrying a rubber-banded stack of cash, about approximately $4,000, but a lot more banded cash, approximately $380,000 worth, was found inside the home, along with approximately 21 kilograms of suspected fentanyl, a money counting machine, a vacuum sealer used to package bricks of illegal narcotics, and the Glock 19 semi-automatic pistol that's on the table. Because just 2 milligrams of fentanyl is a lethal amount, 21 kilograms is enough fentanyl to kill millions of people, and its street value is nearly $500,000. Diaz, the second defendant who's charged in this case, is a Southern California resident with no ties to the Northern District of Georgia. He was inside the Airbnb house when agents arrived. We believe that Diaz's connection to California is significant because we know, as mentioned earlier, the Mexican drug cartels smuggle fentanyl into our country over the southwest border. Here, the work of the HSTF in just a single night took millions of deadly doses of fentanyl off the street, denied the cartels more than $800,000 worth of drug proceeds between the cash seized and the value of the fentanyl seized, and led to the arrest of the two men who now face the prospect of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. This is just the latest of many successes of the HSTF here in Atlanta. Some of you may recall that Special Agent Brown and I stood here not long ago to announce the HSTF's record-breaking seizure of nearly 100 kilograms of fentanyl, approximately 150 kilograms of methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, and marijuana, and dozens of firearms, including a machine gun. The squad responsible for that seizure back in June is the same squad that seized these drugs last week. And in both cases, the fentanyl was stamped with a Louis Vuitton mark to note its high potency. Because the unit cost of fentanyl is relatively low, drug traffickers and drug dealers are mixing fentanyl into a large portion of the illicit drugs that are sold on the street here in Atlanta or over the internet. More concerning is that fentanyl is commonly mixed into counterfeit pills that are pressed by drug traffickers and then sold on the street or on the internet as legitimate Xanax, Percocet, Adderall, oxycodone, or other prescription drugs. So the seizure of these 21 kilograms of fentanyl should be yet another warning to the public that fentanyl is being mixed into almost all drugs that dealers are selling on the street or online. And I cannot stress this more strongly. If a pill or a powder or another substance did not come from a doctor, a pharmacist, or some other healthcare provider, you should assume that it contains fentanyl and you should not consume it. The establishment of the HSTF is paying dividends in and around Atlanta. As directed by the president, federal law enforcement agencies are working together as part of a single team. That's the model. But more importantly, they are supported by state and local partners. Here, for example, the Clayton County Police Department, that provide continued and critical assistance with the mission. As for Bice and Diaz, they both remain in federal custody pending detention hearings next week. The prosecutors handling their cases will soon seek grand jury indictments to hold them accountable for their alleged wrongdoing. And with that, we'll take a couple of questions as a group before breaking out into breakout sessions as discussed before.
Can you discuss how long you all have been working on this particular investigation and how these suspects, defendants, came on your radar?
For that, I'm going to yield to my colleague, Assistant United States Attorney Thomas Forsyth, who's prosecuting the case.
Thank you. This investigation is still ongoing, and so there are a lot of things that we are not going to discuss. But there had been a significant amount of work put into what happened on Friday night, what was seized, what you see before you.
So there's some of the press conference from the Federal Bureau of Investigation out of Atlanta, where they arrived to an Airbnb and they captured Future's brother, which is Casino, and another gentleman that goes by the name of Diaz. When they said his last name was Diaz, that basically told me he was Amigo. But they said something that kind of struck me as odd. And of course, I'm not involved in the drug game, so I wouldn't have any information on these things. But they said that 20 bricks is worth $1 million. I'm not so sure about that. And what happens is, at least from my perspective, I think when they do a drug bust, they inflate the numbers because they're appealing to the community. I think that you can get more than 20 bricks for $1 million. I'm not sure. Again, because I don't know the prices. But again, I just found that interesting. I don't know. I think you probably can get maybe 40, 50, 60 bricks for $1 billion. But they have 20 bricks at $1 million of fentanyl. Another thing that kind of stood out to me is that they didn't say fentanyl mixed with coke. They didn't say fentanyl in pills. They said fentanyl. So are they saying that they ran in and got 21 bricks of fentanyl? Like pure fentanyl. Maybe I can see that being worth $1 million, 20 bricks of pure fentanyl, because you can cut fentanyl like 2 million times and it still be strong. Something that I wanted to speak about, because of course I've been inside of the inner city and been having communication with some of the people who are boots on the ground. On my tail end of changing my life, right before I kind of found the other side, and God blessed me with such an illustrious opportunity to speak to y'all for a living, there was something happening in the quote unquote streets, and it was interesting to me. I believe that the Mexican cartel had waged war on America via our drug trade. You get to a certain level and you run into the Mexican. There's really nowhere around it. Like if you call yourself in the dope game, you get out there and you get to hustling, you gonna run into a Mexican at some point, because we always felt like the Mexican was the plugs. The Colombian really is the plug, right? If you know, you know. But sometimes when we were coming up, we would think the Mexican was the plug. And so the black people that participate in the drug trade and the Mexican that participate in the drug trade, they're gonna cross paths at some point. The black boy is more eager to spend his money with the Mexican because it builds a relationship. Again, there's just an inheritance that the Mexican already has just because of his skin tone and where he comes from. Here's something that I guarantee none of y'all don't know. You can run up on any Mexican you know, any one of them, and they can get you some coke. They might act like, oh, no, I don't know nothing about that. How does that? Bruh, any Mexican you know somebody that knows somebody that's around with the something. That's just how it go. But when we look at the Mexican, man, we would always say the Mexican was the plug. So now back to them raging war. I believe that when we arrested Chapo, that someone made a decision to poison Americans with fentanyl. The reason I say this is because, again, and all of this is alleged, and I'm just speaking, I don't know how I know this, but certain things I just know without even being involved or being around it. It's just intuitive, right? Right before the pandemic and all of that shit took place, the Mexican plugs was forcing heroin. They were trying their best to get people off of cocaine. And that sounds crazy because you say, well, why the would they try to get people off of cocaine? Now, me being somebody that's a hustler, I look at it and say, well, the reason why they would want to get you off cocaine is because heroin costs much more. So back at this time, you maybe could have got a gram of coke for $25 or $20 a gram, $30 a gram. That heroin was 75, 100 if you ain't know nothing, like 100 a gram, right? And we talking about from somebody that kind of is involved perspective. So not to mention you don't never be around here and you just showing up, right? So look at that profit margin. The Mexicans were in a situation where a brick of cocaine would be, let's say, $33,000, $30,000, $32,000. They had got it up to that number. But then a brick of heroin will be double, triple that. And you can step on it. Like they would tell you these things. Hey, man, we'll sell you this and it's straight. And you can step on it, turn this 1 ounce into 2, turn this 1 brick into 2.5 bricks, sell it. Like they would give you the game. But what they were really trying to do is force heroin on our people. Now, it had gotten so bad to where some of the people who were involved with the drug trade were saying, listen, bro, I don't have no heroin customers, so I don't want to spend money on heroin. That's before the young now they own heroin. But back then, it was still a situation where people really wasn't involved with heroin. So dudes was like, man, I don't got no heroin customers. I'm not finna take and spend 25 grand or something on some heroin and don't got nobody to give it off to. So what happened was the Mexicans start giving it out. And I'm going to get to the point. The Mexicans start giving it out. And when I say giving it out, it's basically on consignment. It ain't nothing free. There's no free lunch. So they would give it to you knowing you don't have the customers. So they'll serve you for your 2 bricks and then throw you a 9 of heroin just on the strength. Now, when they start to see that wasn't turning the people into heroin customers, and this is just alleged for me. This is just me with my tinfoil hat going down a conspiracy theory lane. But back then when they were trying to send the heroin to the people and nobody had any customers, if you paid attention, at least in my area, if you paid attention right after that, what you dealt with was they started to intentionally send bad work and real strong heroin. So they couldn't force you to buy it. But they can step on it so bad where your customers gonna start saying, man, you got something stronger than this shit. I got a little bit of heroin. Just take a little piece of that. See if you. And I believe at this point that the Mexicans now have eased up off of it. Because if you notice, the fentanyl deaths have went down. There was a point in time, man, where you will bump into young people dying from fentanyl. Like, I got 5, 6 of my homeboys, regular get money, just Xanax popping, Percocet popping boys. Like some of these 4 young people, 22, died off their fentanyl, man. It was crazy for a minute. And so when I hear them show up to this home where they said Future brother Casino was inside of it, and they got the guy Diaz there that told me he was amigo. I look at Casino, right? Cause you can tell, and I just want all y'all industry to know this. When y'all young be acting like y'all still in the street, we can tell based on like when Casino posts, you can tell bruh still be around his people. He's still accessible to his neighborhood. Let's address the elephant in the room. There's a lot to talk about. Number one, there's a couple key things I want you guys to pay attention to. Number one, this is a federal case, which speaks to the gravity of the scenario and situation. This is a bit different than some of these guys who's been caught up on some of these state charges. This is like the feds coming to get you and you being caught with 20 bricks of fentanyl and $400,000. Now, there's conversations going on in the culture. I want to chime in on some of them today. The first thing I want to speak to is that in that press conference that we just listened to, you heard the gentleman that represented the federal government come out and say, number one, slick question by the person in the audience, the journalist who asked the question, how long have you been working on this investigation? And you know what he said? This is still an ongoing investigation. Now, usually when you catch 20 bricks of fentanyl at one time and 400,000, that's the investigation is over. You got your guy. You got damn near $1 million in shit right here. You got 2 people to hold accountable. You got a Diaz from the West Coast. You know exactly what you think his role in this is. But he didn't say this investigation is now concluded, which a lot of times drug investigations never conclude. But when you get this 20 brick thing, I just think the language and the verbiage needs to be called to the carpet. He says, yo, we still having ongoing investigation. But what I will say is this: a lot of work went into what you seen take place on Friday night. Now, that says so much without saying anything. And the rumblings online are what's going on with Future. I want to be clear, the feds play a different game. I was telling one of my people, I got 3 of my real friends, my real people I love in the feds right now. And every time I think about it, I tell myself that, yo, these people are dealing with a different level of intel. And the reason I say this, I know that they allow things to go on so they can get their intel up. Everybody that I know that went to the feds, not the people that caught 3-4 cases and then they just batted you up and the feds picked you up. I'm talking about the people that I know that the federal government investigated and wanted to bring them to justice for quote unquote crimes. They always come when the motherload is there. Man, it's something about, ask your people. Maybe it's just my people. But every time the feds done hit somebody I know, they always come when the motherload there. They don't never, damn, the feds came and they really didn't get none. I really got 30 bricks over. Man, they always come when the and the motherload is there, whether it's cash or it's work. They always have the intel. What I believe to take place is these seen Future brother there and said, let's hit right now. Now, do he know the people? Of course, he probably know the people. Is he involved? I'm not sure if he's involved, but I'm thinking that the feds was watching this operation. They see that that's Future's brother. Let's hit it right now. That's our opportunity to try to work our move. Now, on the other side, we think about Future celebrating his birthday. His brother was arrested days prior or days following his birthday. That's 1. 2, Future has been going through, a little bit of turmoil here lately. Our prayers go out to Future. You got to hold your head. You a soldier, head down, and keep pushing. But, Future is dealing with Scooter. Future is dealing with Casino now, going through this. Him and Thug having their situation, Thug going to jail and getting out, and then this, you know what I mean? Like, Pluto got some shit on his plate right now. And there's also been some of my counterparts, some of the people that's in the media that's been speaking to, man, why is Future's brother in that kind of scenario to be hustling? Because they take that to mean that he's hustling because he's been caught around someone that has this amount of work at one place. And you would have people who may have not even grew up in America basically saying things like, yo, is Future stingy? Why is his brother and them even involved in this? And R.I.P. Scooter, they will bring up Scooter's name. And, all of these guys are in trap houses, and what's going on with this? I want to chime in on that and try to bring a little context, or at least a little bit of my understanding around what it's like to be the head honcho or just be someone who comes from the street. And I take Future to be someone that comes from the street. I take, his family, his crew. I take these people to be people who evolved in the dog, came from a dog place, the roads that grew up from the concrete. I'm going to try to add some context. Maybe it's not Future doesn't give people access to income. Number one, just like me, I'm somebody that I just can't ask for no money. Like, I'm cool with that might got $500 million. I'm cool with they got hundreds of millions. I'm cool with they got hundreds of thousands. I'm cool with all kind of. But some about me won't let me ask for no money. See, some of y'all don't understand that. Some of y'all even take it as if, well, why Future don't just hand $1 million? Some ain't taking no $1 million from their partner, and they done seen him sweat like this here for it. Blood, sweat, and tears, travel every day. It just be y'all just looking for daddies that be ready to get up under, spend all the money he don't work for. Some just saying, hey, homie, that's your money. I'm going to get mine off the concrete. You my partner. I'm supporting you. I'm around you. We balling, we living, but I don't want no money. Can't hand me no $1 million just on some, here goes some money. What kind of y'all take a nigga for? Y'all think just waiting around like these rap daddies. Hey, man, just give me the money. Come on, man. I'm from shit, man. Know how to get money outside of their homeboys. I'm the kind of guy that ain't taking $1 million from my people without me putting no work in. Like, we can work together. You give me a meal ticket and we business partners and we done made money together, and there's scenarios that call for that. But me just taking and going through and just handing $1 million because I'm loaded, man, we got to work for money, man. By the sweat of our brows, what the Bible say. By the sweat of his brows, what the Bible say. And so the idea that some of the people in media always kick this, yo, why the rapper ain't taking care of everybody? Some of these is hustlers. Some of these you see with these rap, they get money like rappers. They live like ball players. Can't no rapper or no ball player, none of them just come in baby like he a little boy. If anything, men want to work for their money. A real man want to work for his money. It's only you suckers, it's you new age that want to be up under and want him to just one day on your birthday pop out with 200 grand for you and you ain't done nothing. Y'all be wanting to get treated like a wife. I ain't getting down like that, and I ain't accepting money from like that. Listen, we trade gifts and we look out for each other and we get money together. Not you give me money. See, that's what I'm saying. I gotta have a crew full of that get money together, not a crew full of I'm giving money to. See, I'm a feed my tribe. I feed my little crew. I'm the head honcho. So there's a reason why when you see me, it ain't 100 with me. My reputation say that when a with me, he took care of. When a woman with me, they took care of. So the more people you see with me, the more problems I'm putting on my plate. And so I got to limit my visibility to keep myself from going through things and trying to save the day and help with this and help with that. And so there's that. You dealing with the guy who, yo, I ain't just take this because my brother got money, just because my cousin got money, just because Loon, my homeboy, just because whatever. I ain't just going to take his money. Like, I ain't just expecting bro to come bring me 500,000. The nerve of some of you. I ain't saying you supposed to be broke. I want to see you eat, but I don't want to cook for you. See that what it's a difference, homie. I ain't no hater because I don't want to throw my apron on and go and cook for some other. I got a family to feed. I got a family to save. They be saying, man, bro, don't be, man, I ain't putting my apron on so I get everybody in my family fed, all my tribe fed. Once my people fed, we'll invite the neighborhood. We invite the doubters. See, because people doubt you for a minute and then you turn your head and look back and they'll show up with a plate in their hand. They want to eat off the same table that they doubted you will be able to put food on. You got to guard your grill and guard your sanctity. All this rumbling online about who ain't giving who this and who ain't giving who that, and it's rappers taking care of their families and helping their people. Number one, let's even look at Future's situation, because again, I'm seeing the internet talk about it. I'm going to chime in on it. Future done made a lot of money. I'm sure Future loaded. I'm sure he loaded. He done made a lot of money. Sold his catalog. Done went platinum umpteen times. Albums platinum. Tours sold out. Merch. Brand partnerships. He's done a lot of business in this game. He covered a lot of ground. Future's worked extremely hard for that money, but here's the other side of that. Future's been sued. Future got 8 children. Future like to with these bitches. Future like to spend money on clothes. See, there's a scenario where rappers are spending a shit ton of money. Now, Future is a anomaly because he can handle it. Whatever come, he make enough money to whatever he want to do, he can handle it. But let's take it from Future and deal with some of the other rappers, right? Some of these rappers don't got as much money as you may think they have. And some of them don't even know how much money they truly got until somebody tap them on the shoulder and say, you can't buy the Bentley. We don't got that much in the account no more. Some of these really don't know all of the money they got. They might know one account, but they don't have a real portfolio of exactly how much money is coming in and going out every month. Once you make it, these just lay back and kick their feet up and trust somebody. Yeah, they lay back, kick their feet up and trust them a nigga with all of their money and all of their life's work. I heard Jay-Z say before, I got accounts checking accounts and lawyers checking lawyers. It's a dirty game. It's a dirty world. And so in spite of the lawsuit and all of the other extracurricular scenarios that this gentleman finds himself in, I think that people cannot imagine the number of people that want help from a person. I mean, they cast a wide net, bro. We talk about strangers, companies, boys and girls clubs, 5013Cs, family, absent family, long lost family, brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles, dogs and cats. Like, man, they come out to everybody wants something when they think, man, he really got money. The lucky part with some people is the money and the fame go hand in hand. Some people got more money than they do fame. But when you flip that coin and you got more fame than you got money, that's when you end up in depression. Because you can't help people because you don't got it. But their fame indicates to them that you are in a position that you're not in. You got to know how to navigate fame without money. See, navigating fame with money and fame without money is two different things. And so when you talk about spending habits and not understanding taxes or having 8 kids or being sued by Rock or running a business, see, y'all don't understand. But see, it's entrepreneurs out there that understand. And so when you have this high overhead, for example, you even see some of the NBA players, some of the wealthy people, coaches and things that they say are involved in gambling. Everybody, man, whoa, they clutching their pearls. Say, bro, sometimes your pride won't let you just give your money away. And sometimes your stupidity won't let you give your money away. Sometimes you too stupid to take $1 million and chop it up. But sometimes your pride saying, nah, I can't take care of no grown people. They got to get it how they live. And so when you deal with some of these high earners, the pressure that comes along with carrying the family to the next level with you, not just your immediate family, but there's other people that want to take that ride to the next level as well. And so the pressure that comes along with that can have you making some decisions. you have someone like Chauncey Billups who has had a long career that'll be doing some gambling on the side and find himself in an unfortunate circumstance. A scenario that I can see that makes sense is, so say I'm in the NBA, man. I got 5-10 cousins I love, some of my big homies and people I love, and some of the I really care about around the way. They be really looking for me to look out for them, and I ain't really trying to go in my money and take a half a ticket out and disperse it like I'm some kind of Santa Claus. And it's something that don't want to take that path. And so if I'm an NBA player, man, instead of me giving out a $500,000 a year to all of these individuals, or $1 million a year or $2 million a year, whatever the numbers is, hey, man, I'm going to take care of y'all by doing this situation for you for 4 games a year. Now, you got to bet on me on those games. You're going to win 60, 70 grand a night. That's your money for the year. And so I've now circumvented the process of giving you my money, but you feel like you making some money because you place a bet knowing I'm going to pull out the game, knowing I'm going to go under, because I done already indicated to you 4 times a year now. Tell you and all the homeboys 4 times a year on these certain games, I'm going to go under. That's to feed y'all families for the year now. So load up. When I send this smiling emoji to you, that mean I'm going under for this game. So tell the homies, y'all load up, everybody feed their families. Is that dumb? Hey, man, people are trying to find a way to feed their people without going broke. People don't understand money. They don't understand every dollar is not your dollar. They don't understand taxes. They don't understand the operating costs of the business. They just say, man, you signed for $18 million. You dig what I'm saying? And so you got to find a way. That's a new problem. See, when they say more money, more problems, that's a new problem. You don't even know how to handle that kind of problem. Everybody needs something, and you got it to give them to them. To start saying shit to you, they be saying it to me. You know, God watching you. God watching me. About what? The money? Them folk asking me for something. You know, God is, I give to people, I do for people, but don't blackmail me. Yeah, don't victimize me. You understand what I'm saying? They'll take the God thing. God watching you, man. You got that money now. God watching now. And so sometimes it'll be on your mind like, damn, I got the money to really help everybody. But that's a bad decision, and it's training them the wrong way. So I give them this money, they go the wrong route with it, come right back. I got to give them some more money. So I'm getting up every day working hard just to pass money out. Everybody else living their best life. I'm working hard. And so I think that not only rappers, I think rappers try to find a way to help their people make money, ball players, anybody in this position. I always tell y'all, there's an ecosystem following some of these. And some of the shit they know about and some of it they don't. That's why when you have that crew, that's why I be saying about the 20 and 30 around you. Yo, this a whole ecosystem following you. Now, if they ain't cashing in on it, them dumb. But if they doing too much to sacrifice the business, they dumb as well. So you got to know the sweet spot. You see what I mean? You can't bleed the brand, but you also can't just be around and doing nothing. And so the ecosystem has to be tapped into. Some of these individuals, instead of taking your money, will make money off you. And that's just how they get out. And so anytime they ask me that question about the ball players or the rappers or how they'll be involved, or some of the people that's in close proximity to them can be involved. Sometimes being around people brings you more opportunity than it brings money. And sometimes those opportunities you work the ones you know how to work. Right? You work the eye you know how to work, right? Like if you walk up to the stove, you always cook on the back eye. You really don't know how to cook nothing on broil. You really don't know how to bake nothing. But on that back eye back there, cut that on high. I can go chicken, I can go bologna, I can go cheese, right? I know what I'm doing on the top of the stove, right? So sometimes you work the one you know how to work. And sometimes that's why you got to be disciplined. Because you get in these scenarios, too much of anything is an addiction, right? So you get in these scenarios and you get a wealth of opportunity. Yeah, street come at you, energy drinks come at you, yeah, the cartel come at you, the mob come at you, the record label, yeah, everybody come at you and try to tap in when you really popping. Don't think the streets is not involved in that. See, I remember Jeezy used to say, and that's why I'm telling y'all, I got close enough to some of these to find out that they wasn't really talking about nothing. Before I was an interviewer, man, some of my people, we really pushed up on certain rappers that was kicking certain things and tried to figure it all the way out, and they really wasn't on that, which is cool. That's when I realized, oh, they'll tell us to trap or die and then tell their kids to go to college. I remember Jesus saying to push up and throw 9 pieces, throwing their numbers up there and trying to really serve G's or get served. They're like, man, what y'all doing? Got 200K. What can we do? Any of your people around? Depending on who you are, you bite off that. Nowadays, what happens is they'll bite off that because they think fucking with the weed, it ain't really that serious. So running through these cities, biting off that, and a lot of eating off, man. Listen, man, we plug with Lil Buddy and them in New Jersey. Yeah, we really moving around, and it's just an ecosystem following rappers. When you get to a certain level, you got to chop all that shit off. You understand what I'm saying? We got an opportunity to do things from a different level, but I understand you work which one you know how to work, and it's unfortunate that we had that limited of information. Don't know what to do, and it sound crazy till you really get some money and figure out, oh man, this shit crazy. Oh man, this shit here crazy. Man, I want to buy that building. What I'm supposed to do? You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I want to start me a chicken shack. What I'm supposed to do? Just didn't know what to do, and they just hiding the money. Really, it's an Easter egg. See, that's the problem with a lot of people that come from the street. They hustling hard, man. I'm talking about hustling good, really getting money. But they money just sitting around. It's an Easter egg waiting on somebody to find it. They can't spend it. They don't know how to spend it. They don't know what to do with it. So they either waiting on the jack boys or the feds to find the money. You see what I'm saying? So we have to equip ourselves with better information, new information, and put ourselves in a scenario to move forward. I'm going to say free casino. Shout out to Freebandz. Hopefully everybody's good. At some point we got to turn our back on what we used to know though. And I'm gonna say that at the same time, just for the youngsters watching. You understand what I'm saying, man? We got to turn our back on what we used to know. We got to turn our back on the easy route. We got to know it's gonna be a hard fight. It's gonna be a hard fight. It's gonna be an uphill battle. It's gonna be a 12-round bout. We going into the championship rounds. Them gonna team up on you. Them gonna get all together and they gonna get bitter and they gonna put rumors out. Them gonna lie on you. Them ass gonna try to discredit you, but them ass still gonna lose. And that's the confidence that we gotta have. I tell people that you got to always remember, man, no matter what they come with, they still gonna lose. And that was seeping from my spirit. That what I'm working with. That was one I'm moving. Man, whatever they come with, they gonna lose. Stack them all up. And so as y'all all come together, see, here's something I understand. You don't lose the people that gotta come together to beat you. It's impossible to lose the people that have to come together to beat you. But in spite of all of that, there's gonna come a time where you gotta look at all the naysayers and you gotta believe it in your heart. You gotta look at the naysayers and know, no matter what y'all come with, you won't win. You can go and recruit anybody with a grudge. Old friends, baby mamas, anybody mad. Go get the whole gauntlet. You still gonna lose. That's also something I'm gonna address this week too, cause it's a reason me and suckers don't get along. It's a reason me and these sucker ass don't mix and blend. That I don't really fuck with no. It really be a reason you don't see me really tapping and vibing with everybody. But there's a reason you don't see me just, integrated with everybody and just accepting everyone with open arms. You understand me, man? I've been around a long time. I'm an expert on human behavior, so I can study and see things that just the naked eye won't pay attention to. I recognize patterns. And I may or may not say anything, but I always grab intel. But I don't want to be around everybody. I don't want to embrace everybody because I'm really real. I'm really true. I'm really a real one, right? See, sometimes when you embrace everybody, you learn the hard way. I remove myself from some of the social settings and some of the fake love. And sometimes it feels disrespectful because I'm unwilling to engage with fake love. And people think I'm bougie or maybe I'm arrogant. They don't even see the man that's protecting themselves. They don't see the man that understands, right? Because I wouldn't do my children a disservice and introduce one of you sucker ass to them like uncle, like family, or like the home team, or this my friend, and then got to explain to them that you was a hater in disguise the entire time. I was reading a study the other day. They said that men are less often to go up and speak to women, and people have the wrong outlook as to what's the driving force behind such a decision. When you read the article, it speaks to how now when a relationship doesn't work, you now have to worry about the internet being involved and people backstabbing you and embarrassing you and bringing certain things to the forefront that was done in private, and certain intimate situations are now placed on the big screen, the Titantron. And so now you got to adjust and say, next time I won't be so free with my love. Next time I won't be so free with my opportunity, because it comes with a consequence. It's unfortunate. It's going to make me a little more hesitant. But see, I learned a long time ago how to flush out a and excuse my language, I want to use less profanity as I get older. But I've learned how to flush out a and how do you do that, Loon? Well, when it come to me, I just won't engage with fake love, because real love is patient. Real love is patient. Fake love, they need me and they need me now. That fake love is fragile. That fake love is brittle. They need me and they need me now. That fake love, it may disappear if I don't get it done right now at this second. But real love is patient. And so I don't engage with fake love, because I understand that people will come with their costume and try to rob a some of his cachet. But see, I keep telling people I'm elite, information based, executive branch, Southern District. I been knew that you don't honor a man that you can't use. They think I ain't smart enough to understand that they don't know how to honor a man they can't use. You don't know how to honor a man that doing things that you can't benefit from. You is just sour with. When you see me say, man, I'm proud of dude, or I want to see him win, or man, let's not do him like that. Clutch they pearls. They don't even know how to react to real shit. They don't know how to honor a man they can't use. That's why they don't call my phone. Don't hit my line, because they know we can't use Loon. We got to deal with him like a man. It gets even deeper than that, because we've created an environment where people can't honor a man they can't use. But then they take it a step further. And if they can't use you, they want to discredit you. The problem is, when you really built it brick by brick, they can't discredit you. When you really built it from the ground up, they can't discredit you. They can stop liking your posts. They can stop commenting on your shit. They can stop sharing your shit, but they can't discredit you. You know, it's the oldest trick in the book. They can't call you, they discredit you. They can't use you, they discredit you. You no longer is just at their every peck and call, they discredit you. I'm sure people know that old saying, when a man didn't help build the house, he'll convince himself that it's leaning. You got to ignore some of these people. They got to cope with you existing without their fingerprints on the building, without their fingerprints on any brick, any hammer, any tool. See, that's the problem. Everybody wants something, but ain't nobody want to do nothing. I take a look. When I go to handing my money out, the first thing I do is bring me all the tools, check for fingerprints. Yeah, we want to reward the builders. Yeah, we want to reward the just actually them put a tool in their hand to build up this infrastructure in some kind of way. We got a lot of ground to cover, a lot of work to do. We going up against giants and they haters. We going up against is big in the game, and most of them haters. They are not excluded from what I'm saying today. They don't know how to honor a man they can't use. I'm just hoping that people out there building something that they're not afraid to be confident, that they're not afraid to believe in themselves. You know, me being someone that stands out on the hill in the industry full of who've been in the industry. You know, sometimes I catch certain arrows and people wonder, does it affect my mental? The problem is that every single person that puts a negative comment about me, Loon don't believe them. Now, I can't speak to the people that see comments and believe them, but deep down in my spirit, in my heart, right? Certain comments is like, it don't make sense and it don't feel like nothing. Then my new question to myself is, why do people hate to see black confident men? Somebody that'll come out and not disrespect one person, but speak to the ground they may have covered and beat their chest. Say, if Lord willing, I go to the next level, I'll be the greatest alive. When did that start to become offensive? When did believing in yourself start to offend so many people? Already as a black dude, right? As a black man, you come out and you run the company. You already fighting for market share and equity in some of these boardrooms and some of these meetings. And then you got to come and deal with your own people that's unhappy with you being confident in yourself. They don't like the bass in your voice. This your own people. They don't like the bass in your voice. They don't even see the burden you carry. See, sometimes the bravado is just covering up the burden I carry. That every single day I gotta reevaluate the business. Every single day I gotta reinsert to the companies what this is, why it's important, what's going on, how grassroots, how powerful, how many people, how much retention, how many views, how many listens, how many sponsorships, what's the click-through rate, how many paying customers, how many. I gotta explain every single day. I gotta reassure people. Constantly under attack. And then you come to the people you actually do it for, and they don't like that you still confident. They ain't broke you down yet. Some people don't understand what it's like to have to fight in rooms that you've put the most furniture in. I hear them say names in some of these conversations. I'm saying, yo, hold on now. They don't expect me to fight in no room I put the furniture in, do they? And so some of y'all got to really understand that as black men, especially, people like me, we go up against celebrities and big companies and all of these different facets of business. And we gotta stand tall and stand on business. And if we don't believe, nobody will believe. Trust me. And so this video is in 2 parts. I'm not sure where the editors are gonna put what. But hopefully you watch this week's episode of It's Up There podcast that comes out on Thursday officially on our YouTube. You come to our Patreon. We're in the Charleston White era as far as me not allowing him to have that conversation about Young Thug. I just felt like he was in character mode. There was no room for me to allow him to antagonize and tear down someone that I call a homeboy and a friend on my platform. And it's not his personal story, right? You just commenting on it. And at that time, I didn't feel it was a good time to have a conversation. So I pulled the plug. Executive move. Also, Akademiks responded. I see a couple of people out there trying to put it like that there's violence on the table for Akademiks. I need y'all to understand that there's things going on outside of Akademiks, and there's no violence unless someone on that side presents violence. My thing is to have some respect. When I speak about Akademiks in videos, you don't hear me say he sucked dick. You know, where we come from, those words are just they're a little far. And I heard him say it on the episode in real time, because I don't watch these videos before I get on live with y'all. So I hear him say, he's a dick sucker and all this. I'm like, man, that nigga talking to me like this. What's wrong with this dude? We got to keep this thing respectful and see who can have the best outlook and take. And if we never speak, cool. I don't give a fuck about speaking to nobody. It's about seeing who has the best take and what we present the culture. He critique me, I critique him. There's no real beef. Akademiks has built a platform over there. We just don't stand for the same things. And so I want to reassure the audience and people that love me that, that ain't it's not on that level. If it was on that level, I wouldn't speak about it. And we here to make money. We here to make content. We live a good life. We've been able to do things that no one has been able to do. But we will carry ourselves like men in every circumstance, no matter where we are, right? In 2026, we want to have a little bit more fun with the content and conversation and bring y'all different elements and aspects of what it is we do. I got a bunch of different things lined up. Hopefully they play themselves out. Looking at a couple of set designs and tables, and I think I want to put my new set together in the It's Up There podcast compound, kind of like Breakfast Club done. I was looking at theirs when I was looking at the Ray J interview, and I said, this is an all-purpose type of situation. You got the stationary cameras, you got the one guy able to stand up. He has his spot where he focused kind of on the guests and on Charlemagne. Then you have, what I really liked about it is in the background, right? Because sometimes rappers bring their entourage, or maybe they'll bring products. You can put shit in the background on those sofas that allow the guests to kind of promote things. So I'm just thinking about all that, right? We got a lot of work to do, man. I really with y'all. Hopefully y'all like this part of the show. We got one more part where I talk about the Blueface and Summer Walker, Rich the Kid, Krishan Rock, all them people stuff. So I really with y'all. Thank y'all. Keep watching. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.